Kenmi Jungu, what a dramatic scene we're looking at right now. Talk us through what you're seeing.
Yes, indeed, Larry. In the last few minutes, the police have managed to push down the protesters right here from Kibera. You know, this is one of the strongholds of the NASA presidential candidate. They made a deliberate decision last night to barricade this place, that is Olympic Primary School. It's one of the biggest voting polling stations right here in Kibra, and we were waking up to a lot of riots and protests right here along the main road leading to Olympic Primary School, but the cops managed to push them off early in the morning. What you can see right now is some of the cops who have deliberately also made a decision to remain here. We have some in full anti-riot gear who have pushed them further, and Larry, to give you perspective of where they are, because it's quite some I don't know how to describe it, but down where we can't go right now, where the anti-riot police have gone, is, if you remember, back in 2007, is where they pulled the railway line. Now that is where the protesters have been pushed to, and the anti-riot police have pushed them down there. They were planning to dig a tunnel there to ensure that they cut communication and, of course, the infrastructure, so that the ballot papers are not brought to Olympic Primary School, which they barricaded. So they were planning to dig a tunnel and or lift the railway on the other side, but the police have managed to push them off. We've had some running battles here. Most of them are in their homes right now. Very few are walking on the streets, obviously afraid of what might happen here, but the police have been very civil with them. They're just basically pushing them back and staying put, standing on their way to ensure that they don't come where they're not needed. And what the police are also trying to do at Olympic Primary School, Larry, is to ensure that once they open it, they can get the ballot boxes. Now, we'll show you what happened. There were a lot of stones right at the door, or at the main gate, and there were also this kokoteni that were reinforcing the kind of cover they were giving that gate. And then once they removed the stones and the cuts, the hand cuts, they also found a chain. Now we're not sure the chain right there at the door was put by the protesters or if it was put by the security officers at Olympic Primary School, but that is the only hurdle they have encountered. But Larry, they have managed to remove all the stones, and also it's helping that the rain pushed the protesters earlier on out of this place, and that is how the police managed to come here, because initially there's a lot of push and pull right at the main road. But also there are places here, we've done our rounds here, and there are places that voting is going on. For example, the Ayany voting station right after Nakumatt to Prestige, there is a place that in the field that they put the ballot boxes. So we've managed to go there, and we found a lot of people voting there, Larry. But Olympic Primary School, there's no voting. But definitely we're still doing rounds here. It's now a little bit raining, but we're still doing rounds here. The protesters have been pushed a little further off. Now the policemen have taken shelter there. So Larry, we'll just want to go now to Ayany Primary School, where you will see that there's some voting that is indeed is taking place right there, Larry.
All right, Kenmi Jungu at Olympic Primary School. You know, if you look behind you, there's one of the walls says "Peace Wanted Alive," and it's right next to the gate where the stones had barricaded it. I appreciate the work you're doing, Ken, in the rain. So I'm just going to ask you a question to keep you in the rain slightly longer for our general enjoyment. It seems that the rain might help cool things down a little.
Yes, it did, Larry, because we were here at around 6 and there was a lot of running battles. In fact, we could not get in. And then because it rained so much in the morning, Larry, the protesters had to retreat and get to the cover of their houses. Now, the police took advantage. You can see that policeman there trying to push the gate, trying to see if they can indeed open it. So the rain helped in that when it rained a little more, the protesters had to leave the streets because they are in an open place to retreat to their houses. Now, that is how the policemen managed to push them out, and in fact in the last 30-40 minutes they managed to access Olympic Primary School, which had a huge crowd in the morning. And you can also see pictures from yonder. That is the anti-riot police. They're now trying to make their way back from that scene where the protesters were either trying to dig or to approach the railway to block that area to prevent the ballot papers from reaching Olympic Primary School. But now I think they pushed them further, and if you can see, there are quite a number of them who are making their way back, Larry. So yes, the rain managed to help the police push the protesters a little far, because they had to take shelter to avoid being rained on, Larry.
Okay.